It's like a nightmare come true, and it played out on the streets of New York City. A man left bleeding on the sidewalk as dozens of people simply walk right by, not offering help. NBC's Jeff Rawson has this disturbing story and a warning. Some of what you're about to see you may find hard to watch.
The surveillance tape is chilling. Just off camera, this woman is mugged. That's when police say a Good Samaritan jumped in to help. The mugger stabbed him and ran away. The injured Samaritan chases him before collapsing on the sidewalk. Over the next hour and 20 minutes, more than 25 people passed by and did nothing. In one case, a man took a picture on his cell phone camera. Another lifted his body and walked off, leaving him for dead. By the time emergency workers arrived, it was too late. And it's happened before. In Hartford, Connecticut, a 78-year-old man was hit by a car on this busy road. At least 9 drivers and countless pedestrians passed him by. He later died. In Brooklyn, New York, a patient in a psych ward collapsed face down, unconscious in the waiting room. Hospital staff and other patients ignored her for nearly an hour. She also died. And in Seattle earlier this year, it was security guards who stood by as this girl was beaten by a group of teenagers.
All of the passengers, we were all up against the side looking like, oh, who is going to do something? Do something, do something.
This woman witnessed the assault from a bus parked in the tunnel. She couldn't believe that marked security guards appear to be spectators.
Why on earth are there 3 security guards standing there watching it? And actually allowing her to come back and kick her in the head again.
Watch again to see what the guards are and aren't doing. Before one punch is thrown, the victim with the white purse on her right shoulder makes a clear attempt to stand as close to the guards as possible. She points out the group of approaching teens to them. As the fight breaks out, they get on the radios and call for help. The guard at the top of your screen, the one who's walked away, doesn't come back to the scene. When the beating begins, the guards stand by and watch. And as the victim is stomped on the head repeatedly, the guard in the middle of the screen turns his back on what's happening. When it's all over, not one guard bends down to see if she needs help.
Really? You've got 3 male security guards there? A young girl that's getting kicked in the head, lying on the ground motionless? And they couldn't do anything?
Psychologists say there's an explanation for this, something called the bystander effect. Believe it or not, the more people around, the less likely it is for someone to help you.
There's an assumption that someone else must be helping out. We're motivated to try to fit into our social environment. We're influenced by others. We want to do what others do. Our behavior will follow.
He says we're hardwired to look away from the notorious case of Kitty Genovese in 1964, stabbed to death in New York as neighbors ignored her screams, to this latest case more than 40 years later, where a man may have been saved if not for the indifference of his neighbors. Jeff Rawson, NBC News, New York.
See him turn around and go down or something. Are you recording?